So a lot of people know this, but I am fundamentally against the idea of a week as a measurement of time. I feel like the week is just the most unfounded and baseless unit of time measurement that we have. And I know all time is essentially arbitrary, but the week just seems especially arbitrary. So if you think about the day, it makes sense because you have the cycling of the sun, the sun rising and setting. That has a good grounding to it in reality. And the month kind of aligns with the moon cycles, although I know it's not perfect these days, but it's based on that, in some way there's some sort of reasoning behind it. And then the year, it goes with the seasons. So we cycle with the seasons. Those are larger units of time that I feel like are grounded in reality that make some degree of sense. But then this week comes along, this arbitrary 7-day unit that I believe was created out of some religious belief. It is a unit of time measurement that is essentially arbitrary. And I think it's stupid. I don't like the idea of it. I think having a weekend slows you down a lot. I think it kind of like breaks it up enough that you lose a good sense of like routine, or not, maybe not routine, but you lose momentum. When you hit the weekend, you lose a lot of momentum. I know people would probably be upset if they didn't have the weekend. If you're in school, I get it. School sucks and the weekend is maybe your only time to relax. If you're working, same deal. If we got rid of the week, we could still have days off. They would just have to be bound to the month in some way. We'd have to have not a weekend, but maybe like a month end. So we would have a longer period of working and then a longer period of not working. Or I think better yet, you could have entire months that are completely blocked out. And that way you can keep your momentum up for as long as possible. Now, being the unemployed welfare queen that I am, I can choose not to really participate in the idea of a weekend. And I typically just do what I do every day. I feel like we just don't really need the week. And especially if people are starting to talk about like 4-day work weeks, 3-day work weeks, which I think, if we're staying with the week, having more time off is never a bad thing, but it doesn't need to be tied to a week. We never needed this week entity, I just feel like the week is arbitrary and we don't really need it.